So why do they call them black ops in the military? Oh, we got a helicopter going over. Isn't that nice? Why do they call them black ops in the military? When I first started looking into these cases, Russell introduced me to one of his supervisors, one of the heads of the detectives. And this is somebody who worked on the Wallace civil trial. We were supposed to meet for 45 minutes, and we got together about 10 o'clock in the morning, and by 6 o'clock at night we were still together talking. And he finally said to me, he said, "Where will this lead if you continue?" And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "I will tell you where it will lead. This will lead to the CIA putting drugs out on the streets of America to fund their covert operations." And he said it at the time, and I really looked at him very skeptically. But now, 3.5 years in, I'm telling you, this leads to the CIA putting drugs on the streets of America. And why did they put those drugs on the streets of America? There were two reasons. One, they needed to raise money for covert activities, like the Iran-Contra scandal, where they were mining the ports down in Nicaragua. And they needed money to be able to mine those ports. And because of the Boland amendments, both of them, they were barred from funding anything to do with the Contras. And so that money had to flow from outside of the government. So they needed money. And the second reason that they did this was they wanted to destroy the black family. They wanted to destroy the black family because they were afraid there was going to be a race war. And that's why they did it. Was it the entire government? Absolutely not. Was it a faction inside the government? Yes, it was. Reggie Jr. has told a lot of his friends that he is protected by the CIA. It very well could be. Will the CIA acknowledge this? I think it's time for everybody to start asking the CIA if Reggie Jr. and Reggie Sr. are protected by the CIA. Let's ask them. But here's one thing that we know. Back in the early 90s, there were 6 police helicopters in Compton for 10 square miles. And in the 90s also, there was a helicopter crash that happened at a warehouse that was owned by the school district, and there were drugs that were found in that warehouse, and that helicopter was transporting drugs. And so we know that they were doing distribution from what's called the hub city with the 6 helicopters. What a great way to do it. In police helicopters, you're moving the coke. Crazy. Yeah, black ops for sure. CIA. There's at least 100 sources. There's pilots that have flown things in. There's Gary Webb. There's Michael Rupert, who was an LAPD cop. There's at least 100 more sources about the CIA's operation into the drug trade, going back to Air America and other covert operations. And why do they call it black ops? Well, maybe we now know the answer.